Welcome to our celebration of National Wildlife Refuge Week 2020. Other years we would have had a special second Sunday, participated in the Big Sit, and gone on sunset walks. Thanks for joining us this year for a virtual celebration. For the next 10 minutes, you will all be muted, but when our presentation is finished, we will unmute everyone so you can greet each other. Refuges are places where wildlife comes first. Refuges are administered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, an agency within the Federal Department of Interior. National parks are also part of the Department of Interior, but administered by the Park Service. These public lands have somewhat different missions. While refuges are set aside for wildlife, compatible recreation is also permitted. Each refuge makes a determination of what recreation is appropriate for that refuge. Every state has at least one refuge. New Jersey is fortunate to have 5. They are the Cape May National Wildlife Refuge, Supania Meadows, Edwin B. Forsyth, Great Swamp, and the Wallkill River. The Cape May National Wildlife Refuge. While Cape May Refuge has some land on the water, much of its acreage is in interior land that provides valuable resting areas for migrating birds and butterflies. Supania Meadows National Wildlife Refuge. This unstaffed refuge is complexed with Cape May National Wildlife Refuge. Edwin B. Forsyth National Wildlife Refuge. Driving the 7-mile dike roadway with salt water on the outside and fresh or brackish water on the inside, you can see a variety of shore and wetland birds, with Atlantic City shimmering in the background across the bay. Our very own Special Refuge. It was established by an act of Congress in 1960 and officially dedicated in 1964. The Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge now protects almost 8,000 acres of a variety of habitats, all less than 30 miles from Manhattan. Wallkill River National Wildlife Refuge protects parcels of land along the Wallkill River in New Jersey and nearby New York State. The Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge is part of the Lenape National Wildlife Refuge Complex, consisting of 4 refuges, shown here with red markers. With one refuge manager, staff members assist as needed at all of the refuges. The Friends groups, while separate, meet several times a year to share ideas and information. The Cherry Valley Refuge in Pennsylvania recently converted a former golf course into an area that visitors can spend time hiking on former golf cart paths, where the water hazard is now a viable trout stream. Shawangunk Grasslands National Wildlife Refuges. Short-eared owls spend the winter at the Shawangunk Grasslands Refuge. The refuge is located in a beautiful area of southern New York State. In recent years, the Friends of the Great Swamp have celebrated National Wildlife Refuge Week by hosting a series of sunset walks. Members of the public are invited to join volunteers on a walk back into several of the impoundment areas, normally off limits to the public. On one day of the week, photographers are invited to walk out a bit earlier, able to capture photos during the late afternoon as sunset approaches. We hope you'll enjoy some of the following images and memories of those sunset walks. And as we see the moon rising over one of our past sunset walks, we know that the animals, plants, and fungi will miss us this year on these walks, as we'll miss them. But we hope to see them again next year during National Wildlife Refuge Week at the Great Swamp, and for many years to come.